Innovation and Hospitality Challenge is to add green roofs and green spaces to more hospitality facilities. Environmental issues is a topic that comes up in pretty much every industry. So I thought that this would be a good idea to implement in our industry specifically, as it could benefit hotel properties, convention centers, medical centers, meeting spaces, and pretty much every aspect of the hospitality industry. Not only will this innovation impact our industry, but it'll impact our customers and the community around us. Before I go more into depth about my implementation of green roof and green spaces, it probably would be best if I described what a green roof was and how it works. Green roofs and spaces in a facility are made of multiple layers that come together to support the ecosystem of surviving vegetation. Green roofs replace traditional roof type systems such as shingles with vegetation and soil, and also provide a system of irrigation and water collection to be used in other parts of the facility as well. Most people are under the assumption that green roofs and spaces are not for everyone, but there are some examples of some hospitality facilities already implementing green roofs and green spaces into their We're going to be discussing 3 different types of green roofs for different types of buildings and their roof structures. The simplest type is the extensive green roof, which would only have a thin layer of soils and low-growth grass and plants. The next type will be a semi-intensive green roof, which involves a deeper level of soil, and it would only grow shrubs, herbs, and grasses, but not trees. Lastly, there is an intensive green roof, which holds the deepest layer of soil and can grow any variety of plant life, including small trees. If an establishment decides to integrate a green roof, they have to be conscious of the amount of planning and cooperation it takes to build one. Also, they have to be conscious of the cost it takes to build one and the cost to maintain it. The great thing about green roofs is that the target audience is basically everyone. It wouldn't just benefit a certain group of people. However, the people that are most likely to appreciate this are millennials. Millennials find value in being able to help things or do things with a purpose. By implementing green roofs and green spaces into hotels, they will be helping the environment, thus ultimately helping their communities, and more people would feel like they're getting more bang for their buck. There are different types of green roofs and green spaces that can accommodate pretty much every type of property. So, that being said, they could be implemented in places such as convention centers, meeting spaces, hotels, restaurants, pretty much wherever on a larger or smaller scale. Green spaces would also be beneficial for guests, as it will provide a competitive advantage as to staying other places such as Airbnb or things like that, because guests will have a place to relax and enjoy the beautiful scenery that they didn't have to upkeep themselves. Customers looking to get fresh air will be able to do so without leaving their hotel, and people could also rent out the green spaces for meetings and events. This moves into the next topic of providing more revenue for the hotel. More revenue will be able to be provided because if there are green spaces or green roofs, guests will be able to rent out these spaces potentially and use them for their own private events or so on and so forth. This green roofs and green spaces would also help with cutting down on operation costs. HVAC systems could benefit highly from this because it could use the cooling water from the irrigation systems in the green roofs and the green spaces. Also, it would help a lot with the heating and cooling, as the insulation would not be as harsh as synthetic insulation. Aside from just benefiting the establishment and the community, the green roof can help the environment. Green roof reduces the urban island effect, noise levels in urban areas, and can introduce new wildlife in the rooftop gardens. It can also provide a more relaxed environment for the employees, which will boost employee morale create more job opportunities for the community, which would improve customer loyalty to the hotel. Upfront cost of green roofs vary depending on the size and the space that you plan to implement it in. However, those would only be a one-time cost. The lifespan of a green roof is about 40 to 50 years before it needs to be updated or replaced. Over that time period, you could be saving anywhere from $200,000 up, depending on how well you utilize your green space. Or you can be getting that money back in other revenues, thus making it either break even or even more profit for your business. Like I mentioned earlier, the price is the struggle. However, you could make that back. Realistically, there wouldn't be any setback or kickback from the community for building green space from your customers, because they would either think the idea was great or they would just not have an opinion on it at all, which wouldn't lead to more customer dissatisfaction. It could only lead to customer satisfaction. Even though the hospitality industry hasn't widely accepted the idea of a green roof yet, hotels are always looking for ways to reduce cost, and green roofs can assist with that. Although there are a few cons associated with green roofs, the pros definitely outweigh them. Green roofs are not just to make a profit for a hotel or convention, but also a step forward into taking care of our environment.